Thank you, everybody. I'm really happy to be here. I've learned so much, and I love to also share the work that I do. I think the title should be Building Africa's Grassroots Science and Innovation Communities. Going back to the link between personal stuff and then the professional. So I go by the mantra, shaping Africa, shaping young people. Because Africa's young people are very important in its development because a large number of our population are the youth. And as we talk about the linkages between science, technology, and development, I cast my mind back to initiatives that I've been involved in over the years. So I actually studied at the master's level here in the UK at the University of Exeter. Before I came to the UK, as a science teacher in a high school, I was involved in a range of projects to do with digital literacy and youth development. One of the projects I worked on was basically training teachers and students on how they can use technology, how they can use the internet to make their work better. And I also worked on a project that looked at how to get young people engaged in political participation. It's called Ghana Decides. I think it's probably one of the first projects of this kind in Africa. So when I came here to England, I discovered more about citizen science, open science, and I really enjoyed it. My master's was in environment and health. So my thinking was, how do we apply such models back home? And how can that contribute to transformation, particularly working with young people? So I found myself engaged with initiatives like the Science Bar Camp and SHAPE project, Shaping Healthy Attitudes and Protecting the Environment, which was a project that worked with young people in junior high schools on developing their scientific skills and applying that to analyzing challenges that they found in their local environment and designing solutions to them. So at the end of a one-year project, we made them to actually come out to the public and then present the solutions and ideas that they had. It was a very interesting project. I actually did this with Hefzi, who was here earlier. I also was involved in Lab 13 Ghana, which is a project that Rick started here in the UK, and then we helped them to bring it back home to Ghana. So working on all these things kind of made me even more passionate about community science. And so I started an initiative with a couple of others called Global Lab. Global here means that in trying to practice science, it's not about a particular space or the laboratory, but science can be done everywhere. And basically, at a very high level, I think that these four main elements are interesting if you want to build an effective community. One is convening the community, and usually online is good. You'll be surprised to know that internet penetration is actually quite reasonable in Ghana, and in cities like Accra, for example, it's very easy to use platforms like Facebook to convene young people together as a starting point to build a movement. The next step will be to engage. That is beyond the online interactions. How do you engage people offline? Take action, which is actually do stuff that would cause transformation, and then finally to propagate. So in terms of, so I'm using Global Lab as a case study basically. So this is our online platform, our Facebook community. We have about 1,100 members, and sometimes we just share random facts, like research shows that most Salah can be an influence in reducing discrimination and bringing people together. So these are some of the engagement activities we do. This is Innovation Clinic. I work with Foster, who is an expert in innovation with the African Development Bank, to bring people together to talk about innovation, to share ideas, and then we have some nice music as part of it. We also do science cafes. This particular one was done in a high school called the Africa Science Academy, where we talk about the linkages between science and society. and you'll be surprised by the kind of insights that these young people have. And yeah. I have a lot more.